Assalamu alaikum and welcome to my channel where I will be sharing all kinds of food goodness and deliciousness. The very first thing is lemon chicken, so let's just get right into it. The first thing you need is to grab your lemon and place a knife around it in a slanted position and cut up the peel. You need the peel to be as long and as linear as possible, so make sure you don't break it up in between intervals. And this is like a zillion times easier if you're doing it with lime instead of lemon. And in case it isn't obvious, I'm not very skilled with a knife. Anywho, after struggling for a very long time, I was able to collect all the peel, so you need to keep this aside. Also, the lemon should be saved for later and clean up the mess so that we can get started on to the next step. Now this is really important. The peel that you have has this white part on the inside. This white part is what gives it its bitter taste. Now again, this would be a zillion times easier if I had bigger lime, but I don't, so I'm just gonna make do. You need to get rid of all this white part, so scrape, either use a knife or a spoon or whatever. Get rid of all this bitterness and you should end up with something looking like this. The white part's all gone and it's just the yellow skin, which is we're going to use for the sauce. It should be real thin. So, the next step would be dicing. You need to grab your peel and you need to cut it up into really thin strips. Again, a zillion times easier if you're using bigger lime, but I had to make do, and in case I haven't already mentioned, I'm not really skilled with a knife, but anyways, I got it done. When you're done dicing, remember the lemon that we saved up in the very start? It's time to juice them. Grab your lemon and squeeze as much juice out of it as possible. We're going to use this for the sauce. The juice that you take out can be pulpy or not, doesn't really matter. Done with the lemon part, now with the chicken part. You're going to take around 500 grams of chicken breast and you need to slice it real thin. Ignore how messily I'm doing this because for the third time, I am not skilled with a knife, people. Anyways, since I didn't need really long strips, so I just tore the tender down, and this is what you need. You're going to try to slice it as thin as possible, and you're just going to grab like this sized small strips. Using the blunt end of a knife, tenderize the meat. This breaks down the fibers and allows the juices to soak up when you're going to marinate it. Now we're moving on to the actual sauce, which is the lemon sauce for your chicken. You're going to add in the lemon peel, the lemon juice, and the sugar, followed by vinegar and 2 tablespoons of honey. The exact quantities are written on my Instagram posts, so you can check them out from there. Also, you're going to add a tablespoon of cornstarch. This is what is going to give your sauce its consistency and the thickness once you cook it, so make sure you use the correct amount. And now for the chicken marinade, you're going to add in 1 egg and you're going to follow in with a tablespoon of chili flakes. Now this is totally optional, you can skip it because lemon chicken by nature is not a spicy dish, but to give it a desi tadka, I added it. It's totally optional. Black pepper is an essential component, so do not skip that. Follow in with corn flour. You can also use custard powder instead, but I prefer corn flour. I don't know why, but I just do. I always go in with corn flour instead of custard powder for every dish. Soya sauce, salt. Salt is according to taste. There is no fixed quantity for it. And then you just mix, and you don't need to let it set or something. Then off to the batter. You're going to spread corn flour on a flat tray, and to the corn flour add garlic powder. The garlic powder just gives it a flavor that I like, and then I have also added Italian seasonings. Again, it's totally optional. If you want to keep it purely Chinese, skip the Italian seasonings, but I enjoyed it. And then you coat the chicken and off to frying. You're going to fry it for like 150 or 180 degrees Celsius, and then take it out. Once it has a brownish color, you're going to take it out and let it stain to get rid of all the excess oil. And finally, the lemon sauce. Mix it up to make sure that the corn flour is like all in there, and then add your sauce to a hot pan. While you do this, make sure you keep stirring because it has corn flour, so it can get lumpy if you don't keep stirring. And this does not require a really long time. This is going to take just a few minutes, and the consistency is totally optional. It is on you how you want it. To crunch it up, refry the chicken at a higher temperature for just a minute and take it out. All that is left is to serve it now. Please like, share, subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed it. One last thing, do check out my Instagram. The link is in the description box. I post a lot of recipes. I'm very active there, and all the tips and tricks are there as well.